You might think you're here by accident. No. You're tired of making steak that's overcooked, disgraceful, and downright disrespectful. And I'm here to support you because someone working 40 hours doesn't deserve to have this. In this video, I'll be going over the most common ways to cook a steak and figure out which one is the best overall in terms of time, money, and flavor. The rules are simple. Each steak must be cooked the exact same temperature and must not take more than 2 business days. I am your host, Jose.elcook, and you are watching No More Mistakes. Oh man, I'm just here in the room right now, just by myself. I be saying anything, man. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the very first thing you want to do before you even think about cooking your steak is leaving it to rest at room temperature for 20 to 30 minutes. By doing this, it just makes the steak a lot easier to cook and a lot easier to sear. The easiest way to ruin expensive meat is by guessing when it's done. And since I'm testing 4 different cooking methods for steak, I want every steak to finish at the same temperature. So to do that, I'm using Tyfer's wireless probes. All you do is enter the probe into the thickest part of the steak, and now the Tyfer app tracks the internal temperature in real time while it cooks. You can literally watch the meat's temperature from the base or the app, so there's no guessing and there's no cutting into the meat just to check it. The first method is by far the longest method, and it's boiling meat. Sous vide. When I learned that cooking meat in water was a thing, I was genuinely concerned. But the way it works is you put the steak into a bag, you add some aromatics like garlic and thyme, and then you vacuum seal it so that there's no air in it. What this does is allows the meat to cook evenly and slowly. I fill the pot with water, I place the sous vide device in place and set it for 130 degrees since that's what I want my steak to be. And after an hour of waiting, I finally hit the right temp, but oh my goodness. This looks questionable to say the least. It's okay though, because a quick pat and sear on a hot pan for 30 seconds brings it back to life. I didn't really know what to expect, but this actually came out looking pretty good. And the flavor was really good too, but my brain just can't get over the fact that this is technically boiled meat. I give this method a 6 out of 10 in terms of time because it did take an hour, but 8 out of 10 in flavor because it really took the flavor out of the garlic and the herbs. Now we move on to the reverse sear. The name is pretty confusing, so let me clarify. Reverse sear is when you take a steak, you throw it in the oven at low temperature, in this case 250, and when it reaches the temp you want, you take it out and quickly sear it on both sides in a hot pan. For this one, we're going to pull it out at 120 and give it color on both sides for 30 seconds until it finally reaches 130 degrees. Out of the oven, it looks like the sous vide steak's ugly cousin, but we make up for it by giving it color on both sides. It's not as soft as the sous vide, but it is pretty tender, and the color distribution is not bad at all. I rate this a 7 out of 10 in terms of time because it did take 30 minutes, and a 7 out of 10 in terms of flavor. And I'm really surprised that it didn't beat the boiled meat. Now for the next method, we're doing a complete pan sear until it reaches 130 degrees. First thing we're going to do is put the probe inside of the meat, pat it dry really nice, and then season it. And what's cool about this probe is that there is 6 built-in sensors that check different parts of the meat, which in turn gives a really accurate reading. Another thing is how strong the connection is. I can literally be inside my car, outside, and still check the temperatures from my phone while it continues to update me in real time. So whether your steak is in a pan, in the oven, or in some water, I can track the cook time the entire time, making sure that all 4 steaks come out perfectly. And if you want to check out Tyfer's wireless probes, I'll leave a link and discount code in the description. We're only going to do it on medium because if we do it any higher, we're going to burn the outside before the inside gets cooked. We're going to do this and flip it for 1 minute on each side. I actually pulled it a little bit earlier and then wrapped it in some tin foil so that it can carry over cook and then continue to reach that gold temp. Once it's ready, we're going to unwrap it, and that's not bad. I thought it was going to be overcooked since it was on the pan for so long. Color distribution is pretty nice, but how does it taste? Really good, surprisingly tender. I would make this for myself like that. 9 out of 10 in terms of time because it took about 8 minutes to make, and as for the flavor, I would give it an 8 out of 10 as well. Really good for a pan seared steak. And for the final method, we're going to do the opposite of a reverse sear. What the heck do I mean by that? I mean we're going to sear it first, and then we're going to put it inside of the oven at that same 250 and then pull it out when it reaches 130 degrees. That's how you know it's a perfect steak, and we're going to let it rest a little bit before we cut into it. Cutting into it, I was a little bit worried that the outside being seared first and then in the oven would make it dry, but that color distribution is crazy. As a matter of fact, it was surprisingly better than the other ones. And I really enjoyed the texture that it gave. It was almost like searing the outside encased the steak and then retained all the juices while it was cooking. I give this a 7 out of 10 because it also took 30 minutes to make, but I give the flavor a 9 out of 10. I think this one was my all-time favorite method out of these 4 right here. It's a good combination of speed, it's a good combination of flavor you get out of it. I think anybody at home that makes steak should try this at least once and then determine what's their favorite way to cook steak. You know what happens when a content creator like myself makes this much steak? I chop it up and put it on my salads for like whenever. What'd you say? I don't eat salads. Don't let me catch you on the street. Don't let her catch you on the street, or else.
Cool,